Hello and welcome to this edition of Diecast Emporium. We're going to be taking a look at the Diecast Masters Caterpillar D9T track type tractor, or Bulldozer as it's known to most of the world, in HO or 1:87 scale. The item number for this particular model is 85209. Like all Highline Series models by Diecast Masters, it comes in the metal collectible tin, and this one in particular is very nicely done. Not necessarily just because of the high-res rendering of the model on the side, but check out this picture. That looks pretty awesome. Again, there is your item number up on top. On the back, you have another picture of the dozer. In this particular case, it looks like it's ripping some ground there. And you have your specification details, which if you'd like to read those, by all means, please pause the video and check that out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the model. Here it is. So this is a first generation Diecast Masters Highline Series model. Again, if this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, that means that our operator figure in the cab right here, he is not removable. On the new Diecast Masters Highline Series models, for the most part, 99% of the time, that operator figure is removable. So if you want the model to be posed on a lowboy for transportation, for example, or parked in a yard diorama, you can opt to have the operator out. Or if you want to have that piece of machinery working, you can of course have the operator in. Unfortunately, with these first releases of the Diecast Masters line of Caterpillar products, that is not an option. He is permanently affixed in the cab of these machines. However, if you are a savvy and experienced customizer and you wish, after you make your purchase, to take these models apart, they are relatively easy to do so, as most of them are held together with Phillips screws. So you can always disassemble these and reassemble them after you remove the operator, should you want to do that. So the D9T is the third to largest dozer that Caterpillar offers in their range. Most of the time you find these in mines and quarries. And this dozer in particular has the anti-glare finish up on top. That's a paint option that Cat offers. Has the black cab, black engine housing, black on top of the blade and side of the blade. And this model was a modified Norscot release from about 10 years ago. And I have the original. In just a minute we'll take a look at some of the differences. But for functionality, the blade raises up to a very respectable height for 1/87 scale. Unfortunately, although it is modeled, as you can see this cylinder right here, there is very little to no tilt forward on the blade. That's all you get, which again, some is better than none, and you can see a little bit of the cylinder exposed there, so if you want to have it posed tilted, you can, but it should go much farther than that. But again, you do get some range there. As for how low it will go below grade, so you can lift the tracks off the ground, and you can have it cutting, which looks really good. Additionally, you can have the ripper well below the tracks, so that looks also excellent. You can have your 3-shank ripper below it. For some of the smaller details, you have painted lights, crisp Cat decal here. Even you have your small assert engine technology here, D9T, Cat. Your rollers here and your high drive sprocket. These rollers they don't work, they don't function, they're just molded into the mold. This sprocket is plastic and it helps drive the tracks. The tracks as well are plastic, they're not metal. And if you have a surface with a little bit of friction, they will roll. They are a little bit hesitant. They aren't the most free rolling of tracks, but they will move. So there is the D9T by Diecast Masters. Let's take a look at what this model originally derived from. Here it is right here. This is the Norscot version. And you can tell immediately what I was talking about with the two different paint schemes. This is, the standard one, if you will. And here is the anti-glare finish. Also, another improvement that Diecast Masters made, all of these, rivets, connections, all that stuff, they painted on their version, so it doesn't stand out and look horrible like it does on the Norscot. But really, the most important and significant change that they made was the function. With the blade going much lower, it raising much higher. So basically, if you're trying to decide which of the two of these you want to add to your collection for your model railroad, it basically comes down to whether you want, you know, the look of it or the functionality of it. Let's say you're not particularly a fan of the anti-glare paint on cat machines. I would still go with it just because it functions a whole lot better than this one does. The only advantage that this one has over the Diecast Masters one, in my opinion, is that it doesn't have an operator in it. But again, you can do that very easily with this one with a screwdriver. Last thing that we will take a look at is how it looks on a lowboy. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be particularly realistic or reminiscent because, you know, in the real world, you have to take the blade off, and this lowboy would have Jeeps and stuff on it because it's way too big. But if you just wanted to have it on a standard lowboy going down the road, it fits on the Trail King pretty decently. So, there you go, collectors. That is a quick review of the Diecast Masters Caterpillar D9T track-type tractor or bulldozer in HO or 1/87 scale. It's definitely a solid eye-catching addition to your model railroad layout or your diorama in this scale. As with most 187 or HO scale models, they're very easy to obtain, and they're all very reasonably priced, the offerings by Diecast Masters. And they all look great, whether they're working or parked. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. Until next time, take care, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video review.